Итак, продолжаем дальше проходить «Властелин колец. Война на севере». Отправляемся в крепость гномов. Скул. Погнали. Блин, тут, слушай, так красиво. Смотри.
Вот над мостиком у меня еще звездочка.
Allow me to present a kinsman, Farron of Erebor, and also Andriel and Eridan, his companions. We succeeded in our task, and I live to tell of it, thanks only to their aid.
You are most welcome here, kinsman, and no less so your companions, be they man, elf, or eagle. Welcome all to Nordinbad, last hall of the Longbeards in the Grey Mountains. You have returned to me, my son and my oldest friend, whom already I mourned as lost. For this, you will forever have my gratitude and the hospitality of these halls. Know that this is not something lightly given, for never before have we allowed any but our own folk to pass these gates, and no eyes have gazed upon the hidden lake of Azanzaram, save those of our close kindred. Yet for what you have done, I will gladly lay aside our ancient oath of secrecy.
You are Longbeards? Then you are of Durin's folk, and close kin to Farron.
Aye. In centuries past, most of our kin called these mountains home. But then the dragons came from the far north. One by one, our halls were lost or abandoned. All but Nordinbad. We alone endured those dark times. And thanks to you, we may hope to endure our current troubles as well.
What can you tell me of your home?
My great-great-grandsire was the first to enter the caves of this mountain, where he discovered the hidden lake we call Azanzaram. He was awed by its beauty, and led some of his kin here. Slowly, over many long years, with loving hands and careful chisels, we created the halls you see before you. Nordinbad was never rich in gold or jewels, but its beauty would move even the most cold-hearted dwarf. That is why we have remained here for so long. There is not a dwarf among us who would not choose death over exile from our home.
The lake is indeed lovely. Did your kin create it?
Nay, my ancestors discovered Azanzaram even as you see it. We have worked with care to enhance what we found. A chip here, a tap there, fashioning bridges, halls, and tunnels. But always, we have taken care to preserve the great gift we were given.
It is beautiful, and I am honored to behold it.
May I ask how it was you happened to be in so unlikely a place as Mount Gundabad? One does not go lightly into so foul a pit.
We were hunting a black-hearted servant of the enemy. He goes by the name of Agendour.
Agendour. We are familiar with that one. Curse his Blackheart.
He appeared before our gates some weeks past, and called us to parley, in the name of Sauron the Great, so he said.
A parley? For what purpose?
He demanded that we yield ourselves up to the mercy of Sauron, as if there was any mercy in the Dark Lord.
He lays claim to Nordinbad, telling us if we turn over our halls and riches without a fight, our lives will be spared, and we will be free to seek a new home elsewhere.
Of course, we would have nothing of that. When we defied him, he grew wrathful, threatening us with the fiery doom that overtook our ancestors.
Fiery doom. I wonder why he chose such words.
I fear he may have allied himself with the dragon Orgast who dwells in these parts. With such a beast at his command, we would have little hope of resisting him.
Then would it not be best to destroy this dragon before he can be used as a weapon?
Destroy Orgast? If only it were that simple. The attack on Gundabad would be a peaceful stroll around the lake in comparison. If it were so easy to slay dragons, there would be many more dwarves still dwelling in these mountains.
Urgost has never taken notice of us before. We rather hoped it would stay that way.
They say it does not pay to leave a live dragon out of your calculations if you live near one.
We can't let Agendour have such a beast under his command.
Even Imladris would be no haven against dragonfire. Where will we find Urgost?
You do not lack for courage, I will grant you. Yet we know not where the dragon dwells. No dwarf has discovered his lair and lived to tell of it.
Perhaps Radagast knows this secret, or can discover it. Seems there is little that happens in Wilderland that escapes his notice.
You speak of Radagast the Brown, one of the Astari, the Order of Wizards.
So you know him, do you?
We have never met, yet often I have heard him spoken of. He is said to be skilled in the lore of all herbs and beasts, especially birds. Do you know where he may be found?
He dwells within the forest of Mirkwood, away to the south. Perhaps your companion Belleround would know where to find him, for it is said that Radagast is a friend to the Lord of Eagles himself.
We should travel to Mirkwood. If Radagast knows as much as you say, it is certain to be worthwhile.
Indeed. But before you set out, please accept a token of our gratitude. Seek out my steward Galar. I have instructed him to open our vaults to you. I believe you may find something within that will be of service in the days ahead.
Так.
We would be honored if you would accept a token of our gratitude. Find my steward Galar. I have instructed him to present you with some of our finest work. Choose whatever you will, and may it serve.
I thank you for your generosity, Lord Gorin.
Так, а с этим можно поговорить?
I still can't believe I'm alive. I thought I would draw my last breath in the fetid air of Mount Gundabad. Mind you, I'm not complaining.
Tell me of your father, Gorin. Is he a king?
King? Oh, no. He is merely the Lord of Nordinbad. We acknowledge Dane Ironfoot as the rightful king of the Longbeards. Not that he has any idea of our existence.
Someday you may be Lord of Nordinbad. Will you seek a reunion with your sundered kin when that day comes?
Secrecy has always preserved us here before, but it can't do so for much longer. We are a dwindling folk, and this war has only made that worse. Nordinbad is precious, but I see little point in leaving it empty. If we survive the days ahead, we will seek out our kin. My father sees the need for this as well. Were it not so, I wouldn't have dared bring you and your friends to our hidden halls.
What can you tell me of Bruni, the other dwarf who survived Mount Gundabad?
Bruni is the captain of our guard, the terror to the orcs of these mountains. He's been my father's best friend since long before I was born, and he taught me how to wield an axe, and what it means to serve.
It sounds as if you have traveled in Mirkwood before.
I've been around it a lot more than in it, and that suits me just fine. I don't care for that wood. Don't know how anyone could. But I've often traveled to the eaves of the forest to trade with the Bjornings who live thereabout. It was on such a trading venture that I happened to meet Radagast.
Who are these people, the Bjornings?
A hardy folk, and brave, as any who dwell between Mirkwood and the Misty Mountains would need to be. Under their chieftain, Grimbjorn, they've kept the mountain passes and river crossings open, even in these troubled times. But I've heard rumors of war on their borders of late. The high passes may now be closed, at least to those without the benefit of eagle wings.
Can you tell me more of Radagast?
He's an unusual sort, friend to all beasts and birds. To be honest, I don't think he cares much for dwarves, but maybe he just prefers the company of animals. One thing's certain, there are few people with more knowledge of this part of the world. He even spoke of Nordinbad as if it were common knowledge.
Do you believe we will prove a match for Urgost?
It's not that I doubt your courage and skill, and I'd be mighty glad to no longer have a dragon as a neighbor. But truthfully, I wonder if anyone can overcome such a beast. I just hope your luck proves equal to your daring.
What will you and your people do now?
I'm afraid we're all out of tricks to play. All we can do is prepare our defenses, hunker down and wait for whatever the winds of war might blow our way.
I wish you good fortune, whatever may befall. Farewell, Audrey.
Так. Бури.
Now here's a sight. I hear tell there was an elf come to visit. Word of you has spread like a beard on fire. Never seen an elf before. Had no idea your kind could be so fierce. But I hear you hit the enemy hard. Well done. So, how can I help you today?
Dwarves can be a secretive folk, especially when they guard a valuable secret. Could it be that you found mithril here?
Aye, we've no such wealth as mithril here. Not that I haven't dreamt of finding a vein of true silver. I work iron and a bit of ordinary silver or gold. A few gems here and there. Mostly we hide to escape the notice of the dragons. Bad blood between dwarves and dragons as well, you know. And then there's all the orcs. Ah, but I dream of a day when we could trade for finer goods. I've been working on a silver belt studded with crystal, with a special mount for the gem I crave above all others. The gem that comes from no mine.
That odor, is that your beard burning?
Well, hard to be a smith without getting a few sparks in your beard. What do you expect when you're working with a hammer and forging hot metal? They've taken to calling me Burry Birdbeard. Used to have a beard down to my belt. Well, shorter is safer. Long as you keep a bucket of water handy, there's nothing to worry about.
How great are your skills as a smith?
I'm no braggart, but I'll put my skills up against any smith, dwarf, elf, or man. You may think I don't know much, being set apart from others of my craft. But I'll tell you a little secret. My grandsires go back all the way to the smiths that worked alongside the great elven smith, Celebrimbor himself. In the days of ancient Erigian, there was a great friendship between elves and dwarves. We've passed down skills from forgotten times. I know runes of power and other secrets that give my weapons and armor a hidden strength you'll not find elsewhere. You won't complain about my work.
Erigian fell long before I was born. What do you know of it?
The lore passed down from my grandsires is little enough. That Erigian lay west of the Misty Mountains near Moria. That the elves of Erigian were of a kind known as Noldor, and were clever craftsmen. The Noldor didn't know in the beginning that Sauron was evil. Sauron came to Erigian and taught them how to forge rings of power. But after Sauron was revealed, he invaded Erigian and destroyed it. Nearly 5,000 years ago, that was. Doubt there's much left of the place now. But Sauron's fixing to do the same thing all over again. Even here in the far north.
You speak of Celebrimbor the Ringmaker?
None was a greater craftsman of jewels and forger of metals than Celebrimbor, who was Lord of Erigian. Close friend he was to Narvi, the great Stonemaster, and to my grandsires. He even made 7 rings of power for the dwarves. It was Celebrimbor who knew that Sauron had betrayed the elves by making 1 ring. He heard the enemy declare himself master over all. He was killed in the first war against Sauron, and many of his secrets were lost. Narvi and his kin were lost as well. Only one of my ancestors escaped to carry the tale. So it's been told from grandsire to me.
Ученица. Нет, не то. Так.
You're a strange-looking creature. You must be the elf I've been hearing about. You look like a stiff wind could blow you over. But I suppose appearances can be deceiving. Are you here to buy something? I've an excellent stock of the best Nordinbad craftwork, so speak up. Time's a wasting.
Goran sent me to you. He said I should speak with you to receive a token of his gratitude.
Yes. He may have mentioned it to me. It was rather too generous of him. Not that I don't appreciate what you did. But how does he expect me to increase our wealth by giving our best work away? Well, here you go. Take your pick.
Так, награду дал.
Are you here to buy something? Speak up. Time's a wasting.
Are you always this cheerful?
Well, let's see. We've got an orc army growing, a dragon hungry for dwarf snacks, and one of Sauron's lieutenants making threats. Pardon me while I break out in a song and dance. Now see here, I need to do some business. So how's about you buy something before I get downright grumpy?
You must need to travel far afield to find trade.
We've had a rough time of it here, I won't deny it. Mostly we managed some trade with the Bjornings, the men who live down south of us in the vales of the Anduin. They've good use for our metalwork, and they bring us foodstuffs in return. Otherwise, there'll be mushrooms for breakfast, mushrooms for lunch, and mushrooms for dinner. You wouldn't believe how many ways we've learned to cook mushrooms. That's enough jabbering. If you're not going to buy something, let me get back to my work.
Так, ну продавать здесь особо нечего. Как купить здесь у нас? Ловкости.
В магазине есть секира на 341 урон с 3 дырками.
Ничего себе. Ну это
Было
гном.
по чуть-чуть туда вставлять. Двуручный топор.
Это точно. Так,
Ну не знаю, бля.
Щит кому нужно с 2 дырками? На 187 защита.
Не нужен.
У меня их 2 почему-то.
Продажи.
Точно? Ну ладно, я один оставлю, потому что что-то как-то сочно выглядит.
Вот у него продается щит 281 брони, 264 брони.
Ну просто там 2 гнезда, и я про это...
190 я на первом уровне покупал.
Так, ладно. Слушай, несокрушимый здесь продается шлем с дыркой.
Не, нужен наплечник.
Наплечник здесь вообще не продается. Мудрый воитель. Так, а что дает? Силовое могущество. Штаны Цитадель продает. Так. Кто-то мне там что-то подкинул. Спасибо. Что здесь такое? Ловкость плюс 20 к урону. Рукавицы. 3 ловкости. — 20 урона. Ну, что-то... 3 ловкости. Я даже не знаю, чего это взять-то, ребят.
Из чего?
Да, вот то, что он предложил, этот кубик, Рубик. Тело можно только, в принципе, взять, я не знаю, но у меня вот... Так, что-то он дает. 176 защиты. Ловкость, урон, а тут у меня что? Сила, ловкость. Нет, у меня тут даже покруче будет.
Ботинки есть смысл брать на продажу и все. Все вещи мусор.
Я согласен.
Are you here to buy something?
Продать. Что здесь можно продать-то еще? Вот это вот. Так, с кем здесь еще можно поговорить?
У меня есть наручи мастер боя. Нужен кому-нибудь?
Давай, кидай мне.
Сейчас, секунду. И полководец есть наручи.
Давай посмотрим на само это озеро. Слушай, ну реально здесь очень красиво. А посередине где-нибудь там на островке живет голый. Горло. Горло.
My mind is still uneasy about your plan to deal with Urgast. But if you are set on this course, then Radagast may help you find the dragon's lair. Seek for the wizard in Mirkwood.
We will find him. Farewell.
Так, ну все, наверное, пойдем на выход.
Сейчас я тебя перекину, мастер бой, да?
Кидаем. Что здорово, конечно, здесь все это сделано.
I can't believe what I've heard. You're actually setting out to find the dragon? We've spent many long years trying not to be found by one. Ah, but then the three of you did walk into Mount Gundabad alone, and you lived to tell the tale. So if anyone has a chance against Urgast, it might be you. Ordinarily, I'd be dead set against riling up a dragon. It seems Agendaur has already done that. So I'll just wish you luck, and let it go at that.
What about you here? Do you believe Nordinbad will be safe after what we accomplished at Mount Gundabad?
We killed hundreds of orcs when the roof came down at Gundabad. Maybe thousands if we're lucky. That's all the fewer to march against us here. But that just means we went from certain defeat to likely defeat. If the dragon joins up with Agendaur, we're right back at certain again.
Do you believe it would be better if we did not seek out the dragon?
Who can say? It's more you I'm worried about than us here. Bold you may be, but dragons are dragons.
Dragons have been overcome before. It is better we face him now, on our terms, rather than waiting for him to attack our homes. Farewell, Brony.
Ну все, ребят, давайте сюда. И вперед с песней.
Сейчас, секунду.
Слабенькие. Слабенькие перчатки, конечно.
Так, ты где?
На выходе здесь. Ну, Скул здесь уже, ничего себе. Гномы, конечно, красавцы вообще. Вы, кстати, обратили внимание, как у них освещение?
Какое?
Ну, вот иди посмотри. То есть они передают свет через камни.
А, да, да, видел.
Mirkwood is a place I prefer to fly over, not into, but we are ready to go.
You know Radagast well.
The
У кого-нибудь
Brown
хилки
is
есть?
close friend
И зелье
since he first
маны?
came to Middle-earth and
Полно.
settled into the forest.
Ой, мне давайте, я их пью постоянно.
Давай
Нет,
всем на
нет
8.
защиты никакой, поэтому
Мгм.
That was
приходится.
long before I was born.
А,
But
у
I have
торговцев
visited
не
with him many
забываешь
times in
скупать?
his home at Roscoe.
Ну зачем, если у кого-то лишний есть?
But I have not seen him since he abandoned Roscoe.
We must hope Radagast can tell us where to find Urgost. Have you ever faced a dragon before?
No, that is a risk I have gladly avoided. One does not willingly seek out a dragon unless there is no choice.
Do you fear dragons?
Only a fool would not fear a dragon. If Urgost has survived this long, he must be full of the guile and cunning of his kind, abominations that they are. And this will make him even more dangerous. But that changes nothing. If we must prevent his alliance with Agandar, then fear must be set aside and the dragon found. We should follow Goran's advice and seek Urgost's whereabouts from Radagast.
I thought it a rare thing that you offered your aid to us, and hardly expected two more equals to do the same. What can you tell me of him?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young and eager to prove himself, but you need not take my word. Ask them.
What if it is too late to stop Agandar? I may be needed more urgently in Imladris if he should strike before we can find him.
There is great power in Imladris, enough to withstand this threat for a time. If you remained, you would be but one of many in a larger fight with little hope at the end. For even Imladris must fall if Urgost joins with the enemy. Trust in the wisdom of Elrond. He has set you a task that he believes you can achieve. Together, we will do what must be done to bring down Agandar. Only then will your home and our areas be safe.
You speak wisely, Belleroth. Forgive my doubts. Whatever end awaits us, we will meet it together.
You have but to say the word, and we will press on.
We will be departing soon.
We will be ready.
Ну все, поговорил я с ним. Теперь можно лететь. Ничего себе. Дайте парашют.
Seeking the wizard. No one can help him now. And no one can help you.
Ух, ничего себе, ребят.
Волчар.
Так, где он? Ух, нифига себе. Я убежал, главное.
Он снял процента 4.
Это тебе, оно нормально, кстати. Ну, плюс еще...
У меня показывает, что у меня словно оружие, странно.
Может, он действительно сломано?
Мало
Да, нет,
процента
да.
прочности.
Только
Ребят,
сочинил.
Ты мог починить.
Слушай, какой полезный купол.
Ага.
Так, надо заново поставить. Давай, откатывайся.
Куда его унесло?
Его, короче, издалека надо лупить, ребят. Ну, красавцы. Молодец. Уф, это было опасно. Тут кучка.
Кучка. Так, где там?
Тут еще тоже кучка. Так, слушай, вот здесь вот можно пройти, нет? Нельзя. Так, ну давайте на этом серии закончим и начнем чуть позже.
А, у меня шапка сломалась.